Okay, so we are going to put these double layer flags together, and putting them together is not hard. We're just gonna sew the two pieces together at the top. Technically, we're gonna serge them. That is super easy, but there is a little bit of a process I like to go through. I like to think when I'm getting ready to put my two pieces together, because I have two different pieces on one flag. And so I like to think in my mind, if I hold the pieces together, I want two pieces that are the same to touch each other and be in the same direction. And I want the outside pieces that are the same to be in the same direction, so that when I use my flags, I use them and I can see them in the air in the same direction. If that makes sense. Maybe you'll just have to see what I'm talking about when they're all kind of put together and I can explain it to you. But basically, if I have the wider piece with fewer cuts on the outside and I'm holding my flags like this, I would be able to see the wider cut with the wider fabric with the fewer cuts on this side, facing this direction, as well as the same piece facing this direction, so that the two pieces that are identical are sandwiched in the middle. And I feel like that is better than if you put them together the way you see them on the floor and you lay them out identical. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute as we get started. Then when you begin to weld them in the air, they're not in the same direction, and you may see the flat edge of, or the larger piece of fabric on the outer side, and then the larger piece of the fabric on the outer side of the second flag as they're being welded. And I think it really takes away from the depth of the flags if you do it that way. So I would suggest sandwiching a pair in the center and then the larger pieces or the other pieces on the outside. So that is my suggestion to you. It's the way I do it. You don't have to do it that way. You do it however Holy Spirit leads you to make your flags, but that is the way I enjoy doing it, or I like to do it. I think the effects are very beautiful when you do it that way. So let's get started. I will show you how I get this onto the ground. It's not super difficult. So these are my two different pieces. So they each have a partner. So these two go together, and then these two will go together. And I believe this is my piece with the larger half. Yep. All right, so when I set these together, I lay them out so I can see which direction my curve is. So I have a curve on that side, and then I also have a curve on this flag. Even though it has many cuts in it, I'll still have the curves matching each other. And so that's how my curves match. And that's how it will go together. So I will sew across the top and stitch these two pieces together on their edges. We'll do that in a moment. But an easy way to get your flag together would be to match this. So now we would put another one down just like this, and that would be our second piece, or our second flag. So we'd go this way. That would be an identical match. And then make sure the curves go together. All right, and so that's it. That's how you know what pieces you're putting together where. So what you want to do is pick up 2. You're gonna leave the other 2 down. And when you pick these 2 up, you're gonna stitch. Okay, so we have our corners together, and this is the top where our rod pocket is going to go. Here. Be careful when you go to your machine to sew. I have done this only once, but it only takes once to remind you to pay attention. I actually sewed down this side of my silk one time, where the actual, and I was halfway down the silk when I realized what I had done, and I had to go out and rip all of my serger stitches out, which took forever. So make sure that you are holding your pieces down the right side when you're getting ready to serge them. But you don't need pins. You just literally need to hold them together. And let's go sew that up right quick. Okay, so what you're going to do is make sure that your 2 corners are together. Your 2 corners are together. Here are my corners. And you can see I have dye on my fingers, so please forgive me. I had a hole in my glove. So make sure your corners are together. You're gonna stick this under your presser foot as close up to the needle as you can get. Lower your presser foot and then just get started. And you're really just gonna hold your silks together all the way down and just let it catch both pieces where you have serged before. And you might have to readjust a few times, but that's okay. Don't pin this stuff together. It's not necessary. And you're just gonna catch both pieces. Now, I don't know if you can see what my presser foot's doing, but I'll show you that in a moment. So we're just holding both pieces together and just letting it run through. So we just continue to hold the 2 pieces together. We're not, sometimes they slide apart, but just, I kind of hold it, get it together with your fingers. You might have to open it up a little, even it out, and just pinch it. You may have to readjust every time it kind of goes to this point. All right, so once you have your, I just lost it. Once you have that finished, you're gonna turn around. You're gonna take this tail and you're gonna turn it backwards. So you're gonna line it up here and you're just gonna serge just, I don't know, about an inch, inch and a half in. You're gonna lock that tail in. That way it doesn't come unraveled and then you can snip your extra. So just go backwards. So take your tail, line it up, put your presser foot, get that in there. And we're not gonna go far, just a little bit. Just enough to lock it, really. And then just, you can lift the tip of your presser foot up, pull your silk out, and then just stitch off. So you'll see that's how much I stitched it on. And this is the tail, and I can cut both ends now. Just don't clip your stitches that actually go into your silk flag. This was the one I had brought backwards. And then this is the originals. Clip that. All right, and so then you're just left with, you know, a locked stitch. And we're going to do that on the other end to lock that in place. So just take your tail, line it up again. Put your presser foot, get that in there, hold your tail. And that's it. It's all sewn in. And now we get to put our rod pockets in. Okay, so now that we have the two pieces stitched together, we can see they're together now. They're held together by a serged edge. And now we can put our rod pockets on. So I will see you guys in the next video and making this set of 2-layer flags. Talk to you soon. Bye.